Hey guys, Shoutout here, and today we are talking about the top games of each month for 2017. I thought I would kind of break it down into months, and with that, I'm also going to have another video about like the two consoles that came out, as well as my top games of the year. I split that one into a top game plus different categories, so be waiting for that one. Anyways, first off, we're going to start with January. January doesn't usually have a lot of games come out, so this one was a little bit different. In this one, the Turing Test came out for console, and it was an Xbox Gold free game. Sorry, not exclusive. It was just an Xbox One free game. And so I picked it up and I played it, and it's a wonderful, wonderful puzzle game. And I just thought it was really good, and to get it free on Xbox when it came out was pretty cool as well, so I was pretty happy about that. Next up, we have February. February even has a runner-up, because I quite enjoyed the other game, but the game of the month was Story of Seasons Trio of Towns. Now, Story of Seasons, I can't remember how it all works, but it's something to do with, I think Story of Seasons is now the original Harvest Moon developers working on it, so Trio of Town was just kind of cool, and I love getting back into the Harvest Moon because I just got a 3DS, so to have Trio of Towns was fantastic. And for my runner-up was Sniper Elite 4, I borrowed it from a friend and played it, and it's really cool just being a sniper and going around, and it was very well done. The co-op was amazing in it. It's awesome that you can do the co-op like that, so that also had a huge thumbs up for me, was that co-op. Next, we move into March, which was one of my favorite games, Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game was fantastic. As you guys know, I did a whole bunch of videos of the open and closed betas, and they fixed so much between the two, and then in release, they just opened it wide up. Or, opened it wide open. Sorry. Or opened it right up. Whatever, however you want to say it. But yeah, it was really good. I really liked the game, and there's so much to do. So much to do. And unfortunately, school got the best of me, so I didn't record anything, and all you guys got was beta beginnings. So, and for a runner-up for this one, I am so happy to be a part of Origin Access because I got to play this game before the end of the year. And they're actually putting pretty new games in there, so keep watching that one, because Mass Effect Andromeda was on there, and I have to say, it was kind of unique for a Mass Effect game, and to go away from the trilogy series, it was a good kind of a refresh. Like, some people I know didn't like it, but I really didn't mind it. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was kind of a shock, right? Because you were like, is this actually going to be good? But I actually quite enjoyed it. Next up for April was Yooka-Laylee, or Yooka-Laylee if you want. Just a fun little platformer, just like the old Banjo and Kazooie games, and they did well. Those developers who made Banjo and Kazooie formed the studio to create Yooka-Laylee, and they did well. So I'm glad to see them come back to the roots and keep it that way and make this really fun platforming game. Next up we have May, which I think that this was a release. I couldn't really find things, and May was kind of a dead month, it seemed. So it was actually really hard to find something, but Oxygen Not Included. Fantastic little indie game. Like, just trying to survive was the whole thing, and now they had transport tubes, and it's really in active development, which is awesome to see that indie developers are still developing really well, and a lot in a span of time. And then we move into June. For June, we had Dirt 4 release, and what a refresh to the Dirt series. I absolutely love Dirt 3. I played through it and 100% completed the career mode, and I even got the DLC so I could 100% complete that, and now I'm doing time trials on it. And so Dirt 4 was just awesome to have back, and after Dirt Showdown, it kicked it up. It really brought back the Dirt franchise, and I'm glad that they brought it back with Dirt 4 instead of just keep going from Showdown. Next, we move into July. For all you Americans, it was July the 4th weekend and Infinite Mini Golf that came out. I think it was even that weekend, actually. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Well, you guys will see if I'm wrong or not in the video. And anyways, it's just a fun little mini golf game for, you know, many players. You can have a lot of fun with it. I know the Achievement Hunter guys have done lots of videos, and I love every one of them, especially Matt's stupid maps where half of them don't finish, you know, stuff like that. Next up, we have August. August was a very busy month for me, so I was glad that there wasn't too much that came out, but Escapists 2 came out. And I love the first Escapist, and the Escapist 2 builds on everything that they had and just makes it that much better. And adding co-op was a fantastic idea, and it gained it points in that aspect as well. So congrats to those developers on releasing such a terrific game. September actually comes to one of my favorite games on the Switch, because now the Switch has been released, and now we're getting games for that. And Golf Story. Golf Story was an out-of-nowhere RPG golf game. And at first when I read it, I'm like, is this really going to be good? And then I played it a little bit with a friend's Switch, because I don't actually personally have a Switch. So I played a little bit on a friend's, and I loved it. And then I went on and found a playthrough of it and just watched the story, because the story was absolutely incredible to watch as well. So, I mean, if you guys have a Switch and are looking for a cute little game to complete, Golf Story is definitely one. It took, I'm pretty sure it took less than 12 hours to complete. So it's not a big game, but it's a really, really good game, and it's a cute little story to it, and lots of fun. Next up, we go to October, which was a huge month for releases. It was hard to get October's game of the month, but in the end, I gave it to Assassin's Creed Origins. It builds on Assassin's Creed and steps it up, not just a step. It goes up a few steps. Added RPG elements, added like different levels of a weapon. They added so many things to make it a great game. And I think taking the year off and just having somebody produce a movie to give out Assassin's Creed in 2016 and this year releasing the game really made a difference, and it was for the better. Because Assassin's Creed Origins was superb. For anybody who thought that they were going downhill, which I was one of those, I played through all the first 4. Even though 3 I thought was terrible, I still played through it. But after 4, it was hard to play through them. So therefore, Assassin's Creed Origins definitely gets this one because it brought it back and made them good again. So, there was a runner-up for this month, though. We go back to runner-ups, and it was Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario. I mean, I grew up playing Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island. I think that's... Yeah, Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, and Yoshi's Island, and all that kind of stuff for the Super Nintendo and Nintendo. And so, why not? It's really cool. It's still Mario, only a little different. I think that it needed a little bit of a difference to it, and it needed to be upped in a way, and the story need to be made original. They need to do something to make an original story. Kind of weird being in different lands, but again, that's all right. At least they made it good. And now we move to November, where Call of Duty World War II was released, and it definitely gets my game of the month. I have played this game many, many hours. It is one of the first multiplayer where, actually, as we speak right now, I am level 43 in multiplayer. The most I have ever made it to multiplayer before giving up and just kind of playing on my own or playing story mode is 23. So, congrats Call of Duty, and I think it's Sledgehammer Games that published this one. Congrats to you guys. You guys brought me back into Call of Duty, and I am enjoying it immensely. And I'm not going to stop. I'm continuing to play it. I've got friends who play it, and I play with them all the time. So, good job to you guys. You actually made one that brought me back in. Unfortunately, though, for a runner-up, we do have Need for Speed. It's a Need for Speed game, and I love Need for Speed. The car racing's awesome. I like that they have the loot crates, the derelict cars. However, maybe some of it is that I didn't get to play a lot of it this year, and maybe that's why it didn't quite make it. But I think Need for Speed definitely... I don't know how to put it. I I think the market's oversaturated in racing games, and that's one of the problems. And it seems like what Need for Speed did is what The Crew did 2 or 3 years ago now, I think it was. So unfortunately, I couldn't enjoy it as much. And I mean, I had Call of Duty World War II in the same month, so that's unfortunate as well. And then we move back into December. Not a lot of games came out in December, which, I mean, is usually a good thing because it's holidays. You want to spend time with your family and friends, so to not have a lot of games. But one that did come out was Fallout 4 for VR, and boy, it may just be the base game, and there's a little bit of glitchiness and a little bit of, that's the Bethesda charm, but they did very well. And to have an open world VR game like that, and it's the full game, you can do all the missions and everything, I think that is awesome, and they did a very good job on it. So congrats, Bethesda, for making a very, very well done Fallout 4 VR game, and hopefully in your next Fallout 4 game, whenever that is, because, between Fallout New Vegas or actually it was Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, which is the ones that they actually published, it was a long time, so we'll have to see. Love Fallout 4 anyways, so to have it in VR is really cool as well. But that brings us to our wrap-up. Lots of great games this year. Lots of months had different... It was a very different variety. Each month had a very big variety of different games that came out. Because there wasn't too many games on this list that were actually the same kind of idea, right? Like, there was Dirt 4 and Need for Speed, which you could argue are the two racing games. But in my opinion, Dirt 4 is completely different than Need for Speed. Dirt 4 is rally tracks. That's definitely what it's for. Need for Speed is more of that story-driven racing game. So, yeah. So I thought that was awesome. Definitely looking forward to what 2018 brings for us. So, anyways, guys, leave a like if you like this video, and leave a comment on what your top games of each month was, or just your top game of the year. I might take your suggestions depending on how many comments I get, because, sometimes people don't always comment. But maybe I'll do a fan video of what you guys in the comments thought was your top games. Anyways, guys, this has been Shoutout, and I will see you in the next video.